Hello again, everybody. This is John and Glenn with BestPriceNutrition.com. Today we're going to do a video on non-stimulant pre-workouts. We get a lot of questions about pre-workouts, specifically non-stimulants, because if you've watched our videos before, we've talked about, when you guys take a lot of the pre-workouts that have stimulants in there, and somebody will, comment and say, hey, you know what, I took 1 scoop of Jacked, and your Jack 3D, whatever you want to call it. Those of you who've seen before, don't correct us on that, because we get people calling it both ways. There's a number in the middle of a word. It's not proper English, okay? Anyways, the point is that people say, hey, I took 1 scoop, I didn't feel it, maybe I need to take 2 scoops. Well, that's just because they're more sensitive to stimulants. I know you could speak to that.
Yeah, the more stimulants you take over a long period of time, the less sensitive you become, the more stimulants you end up taking. And, it's a cumulative effect. You can start taking more and more and more. I do a lot of stimulants, a lot of caffeine, and definitely, it's a good idea to wean off of them sometimes.
Sure. There's downregulation going on. So what that means is as you take it, less and less receptors get affected by it. So that's really what it comes down to. So we'll typically recommend, hey, if you guys take, 1MR or any of these, pre-workouts with a lot of stims, give yourself a break. Maybe take them 3-4 days a week. Or if you want to take it straight through, take it for like 4 to 6 weeks and then give yourself off, that much time in between, so that way your body can, reacclimate itself to being, less sensitive to stims.
And while you do go off, it's not something you want to go off, cold turkey. You do want to kind of wean yourself off because, you could get side effects like headaches.
Withdrawal headaches.
Yeah. So it's a good idea to taper yourself off. So in between you can have some green tea or like maybe a cup of coffee, something like that, just to keep a little bit of caffeine in the system.
And also now, in addition to that, you want to maybe take something in between because a lot of people just get so used to taking pre-workouts. So that's why, we thought we would do this video because a lot of people are like, hey, I got to take something before I go to the gym.
Yeah.
So that's why we have some. And another thing that comes up now too is a lot of people want to take stuff without 1,3-dimethylamylamine because some sports organizations are banning it specifically. Contrary to popular belief, it's not being banned because it's amphetamine. You're not going to test for amphetamines. It's just that a lot of organizations, I know WADA added it to their list, are just banning it specifically. So if somebody's testing for it specifically, it may be something you want to avoid.
Yeah, non-stimulant pre-workouts aren't going to contain that ingredient.
Yeah. And then some people work out closer to bedtime, so they might want to take something without stimulants.
Yeah, you don't want something that's going to keep you going all night. So
yeah, we've had people comment, hey, I took this and I was up for 3 days, or I'm sure that's exaggerated, but they had trouble sleeping, which I certainly see, especially if you're not used to taking stims. So
and sleep's important if you're looking to grow.
Yeah, and another reason is people don't want to pay for stimulants because if you've watched videos before, the whole nitric oxide pump thing, we're yet to see any ingredients that significantly increase nitric oxide, evidence of that at least, I'm sure if you ask a buddy, he felt that he got pumped, but, we haven't
been having a good workout.
Yeah, probably. So that may change in time, but as of right now, there's just no empirical evidence that there's any ingredients that significantly increase nitric oxide levels. So some people say, I just don't want to pay for stims. Fine, we get that. A lot of people like the way they feel from the stims and as a result get a good workout. So that's maybe enough reason to buy them. So on to some of these non-stimulant ones. We've talked about Altamont before from Omega Sports. Do you want to just give a quick rundown on it? We don't have to go through all the ingredients.
Yeah. The whole thing about it is it does have some creatine inside of it. There is a small amount of carbs. They use magnesium creatine chelate, which is a magnesium bonded to creatine. And then they also have some tyrosine, N-acetyltyrosine, and phosphatidylserine. Tyrosine and acetyltyrosine, they're very, very good for the brain. Things that, let's say you're trying to come off of caffeine, tyrosine is something good to take because you can get a little bit of a buzz from it without getting like the jitters or anything like that. Phosphatidylserine's got some interesting evidence with maybe possibly lowering cortisol in the body. And then you go into beta-alanine, which is inside here. If you've seen videos we've done on beta-alanine in the past, it buffers acid in the muscle or in the cell to allow for keep that acid from building up, so you don't get so much of a burn while you're working out. And then you go into some alpha-GPC, PEA, which is phenylethylamine, CDP choline. So they're using ingredients in here that are stimulating the brain. Very nootropic, or they're neuroprotective.
Smart drugs, sometimes
things
them.
like that. So you with this product, you should probably expect sort of a boost in brain function, maybe a little bit of a mental focus, but without a caffeine-type jitter or anything like that.
Yeah, don't expect that nervous system buzz. I don't know, is there a significant dose of beta-alanine here? I don't
think there's 1.2 grams, so it's a
Yeah, so, and like Glenn said, we like beta-alanine. It's going to buffer intracellular pH, so good ingredient. So that's kind of a nice alternative for somebody who wanted to try something different. Now, some people have commented that, hey, I didn't feel it. When we talk about stimulants and nootropics and things like that, that is one time when we kind of allow for that criteria, hey, did you feel it? As opposed to, you know, a lot of evidence sometimes, because we know that what stimulants can do. You know, there is evidence of that, and some of these nootropics, as Glenn said, have some evidence that they do work. So the idea, though, is it's not going to feel like caffeine. You're not going to feel that buzz. It's just like Glenn said. You may just not be tired. I mean, it may be that simple, and you just feel a little more focused. So
on yourself, a little bit more focused within yourself.
You may not notice anything. So I mean, it's just something to consider. But it's a pretty cool product, and it's a nice alternative. This Cytosport Fast Twitch.
Specifically, though, the lemonade
the only
flavor.
one. Yeah,
the other flavors do contain stimulants or caffeine. The lemonade does not have caffeine inside of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's got some carbs in there. There's 15 grams of carbs, so some people want a hypocaloric diet or you're trying to get lean, you may want to avoid. I mean, it's not a ton of carbs, so you may want to avoid taking that in before you work out. It's got some Crealkaline in here. Done a video on that. You're welcome to check that out. And then it's got some of the pump ingredients, the arginines, and as we said earlier, you know, we're just at this point, the evidence is lacking that those will do much. So, I mean, it's kind of like a carbohydrate electrolyte drink. So, you know.
Yeah, you may not get much of a feeling from it, because like we said, there's no stimulants, and also there's no nootropics or anything for the brain function. So what they're really trying to hit at is, you know, the whole pump thing.
Without the stims.
Without the stims. So you may get some benefit from the carbs that are in there.
And there may be some other benefits, arginine too, that, you know, it has. But that's kind of the bottom line with this one. Next one is beta peptide. That's a new one we just got in. What are the main ingredients in that one?
First main ingredient, Superfoods Fruits and Greens blend, has an ORAC value of 4,000.
What's the ORAC value? What is that?
It's the, what is it?
It's basically
how I was looking for what the exact
just
ORAC stands for. So, yeah, basically the ability of these antioxidants to oxidize free radicals in the body.
Neutralize,
not oxidate.
Yeah, the oxidants are floating in the body. You want to neutralize them. So 4,000. That's like four servings of vegetables. That's pretty cool. I mean, we've reviewed Garden of Life, like Perfect Food and stuff like that. Those are cool ingredients, fruits and greens, because they're like superfoods, and superfoods are kind of a certain food category in nature that has the most antioxidants and phytonutrients by weight in nature. So that's like blueberries and acai berry, and you know, you see some of these juices on infomercials at night for like $30 for a gallon. I mean, that's a ripoff. Don't
that's a little bit of juice with a lot of water in it.
Buy some frozen blueberries at the store, throw them in your protein powder, do it that way. You know, but the fruits and greens blends we talked about, they're cool. I mean, they're nice. A lot of them don't taste good. It tasted this one actually. This tasted really good, so that was kind of cool.
I mean, a nice thing too is that it can help protect your immune system. A lot of times in normal metabolism, you do produce a lot of oxidants.
Especially if you're training intense, so that's kind of a cool
Does help neutralize those.
What else is in that product?
Peptipro casein hydrolysate. So it does have 3 grams of that, so 3 grams of Peptipro, which is hydrolyzed casein.
Which we've talked about before. I think we've made we're pretty high on that ingredient because it's the one hydrolyzed protein that's rich in dientripeptides, I think 60%, and it's low on free-form amino acids, less than 2%. So it's got a low average molecular weight, whereas a lot of the whey hydrolysates, yeah, you're going to get some decent amount of dientripeptides, but with whey, you're losing some of those biological microfractions when you denature. It kind of ruins the protein, and you end up with too many free-form amino acids, which the liver's going to inhibit how much end up in the blood. So I kind of like that ingredient, and it's nice because that'll actually activate that mTOR pathway that we've talked about with BCAA videos, which basically means it keeps your body from breaking down muscle. But the problem with BCAAs is you can't build muscle from just those 3 amino acids alone. Otherwise, there'd be 3 essential amino acids, and there's 8. Whereas with that, you get all 20. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, 3 grams of that.
And then
you've got carnosine beta-alanine, or the patented carnosine.
Just like the Altamont, there's beta-alanine. So you know, I think we got a whole video on beta-alanine.
Yeah, 2
some
grams.
Of the benefits. Yeah, beta-alanine's right up there with creatine in terms of getting a lot of research and demonstrating that's effective. So that's a cool ingredient, and that's in both of these. So, and one thing with beta-alanine, you know, whether you take the Altamont or beta peptide or just straight beta-alanine, some people might want to do that. What is the feeling? What do you feel? Like physiologically, not everyone gets this effect.
Yeah, it's called paresthesia. It's because of a neurological effect it has. You can actually feel like a tingling over your face and your extremities. It does go away like over time, it may not be as noticeable, but also it's not going to last for very maybe like 10 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, so don't freak out if you
yeah.
take beta-alanine, you get like pins and needle feeling, like niacin flush. A lot of people like that feeling. I kind of do. It makes me feel warm.
Yeah,
So.
I mean, it's something that honestly, every time I take a beta-alanine, I look for that feeling, because then I know it's gotten in there.
Yeah, and some people may not get that feeling,
Yeah,
so that's
so
not,
it
yeah,
may not happen.
but it's nice to know how much is in there, and both of these have an efficacious dose, so that's good. And we brought caffeine up here just because some people, like we talked about before, they might not want to pay for stims if you're skeptical of nitric oxide and stuff like that, then of the ingredients that can boost it. You may just want to just buy your stim separate and take it with like a non-stimulant pre-workout. Well, you could buy caffeine. I think, what do we sell this for, like $4?
$4.
Yeah, it's pretty cheap. I mean, prices change. It was like $4 for 200 milligram caffeine, 200 milligrams per tablet, and there's 100 in here. So you could just pop one of these with one of these, and then you know exactly how much caffeine you're getting. Or you may say one day you want it with stims, one day you want it without. So that's another cool alternative.
Yeah, it could be a day
too,
that you're working out earlier on in the day, you want to get some stimulants,
sure.
and then, a couple days later you're working out at night before you go to bed, you don't want the stimulants, there you go. This gives you the control over
Yeah.
that.
And there's some other non-stimulant pre-workouts for sure. We just grabbed some pretty quick because Jeff, the guy who does our videos, said, hey, we're getting a lot of questions about this. Let's do that video. And, we happen to be familiar with these right off the bat. And, so that's why I kind of went with these. But there may be some others. I'm not sure of any. But there's caffeine-free NO Explode.
Yeah, that's going to be
more along the lines of like Fast Twitch, but we'll see what's in it. It's the 2.0 version, so we're happy to answer questions on that once it comes out. But so if you guys have any questions, just feel free to post them. We're happy to answer them. You can tell us if you like the video or not. There's a little thumbs up, thumbs down underneath the video. Also, you can find us at facebook.com/BestPriceNutrition. We're always looking for more friends on there. And BestPriceNutrition.com/blog. Feel free to comment. We'll be happy to answer